Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I was just doing a reading and a patron of mine said, well, you should share that on your channel. So I did. So I'm going to, because we were all concerned. We were reading on the terrible conflict in Israel and in the Gaza Strip and all of the people dying, and how horrible it truly, truly is. And how do we deal with that? Those of us who feel compelled to donate will donate. Those of us who feel compelled to use our voice and write and make comments and speak maybe about this will do that. And those of us who pray will do that. But frankly, there is not a lot that we can do. We can certainly write to our politicians as well, let them know what we encourage today. Biden spoke advising a pause, a ceasefire, a pause for between Israeli forces and Hamas forces. It's difficult. Israeli forces continue. So many people, so many of the hostages, the hundreds that have been kidnapped are still not returned. And there are apparently missiles that keep coming into Israel still from the Gaza Strip sometimes. So how essentially both sides would need to agree on a pause. I want to look a little bit at how likely that is and then talk about what Source has been telling me about how to cope with this, how to deal with this, how to be helpful. Okay, we have Biden. Okay, so Biden did. We have the King of Wands. That's his card. So he did recommend the pause. But then we have the Death card. Oh, there might be a very brief pause is what I'm getting. There might be a very brief pause. Almost like to bury your dead, almost like that. We have the Page of Swords. Oh, we're going to hear a lot of false starts. We're going to hear a lot of rumors that are not necessarily validated. Okay, so be careful as you digest the news, I guess. That's also telling me, though, that if we hear about a pause, which may happen briefly, don't get too hopeful that that means the thing is done. That also tells me that. Okay. So, Source, how are we to deal with this? It is very painful. Not nearly as painful as for those in Israel, in the Gaza Strip. But, it is painful. How do we deal with that? We have Tower. Tower. If this is a Tower moment for you, like, I am not willing to, people are becoming pacifists left and right here is what I'm hearing. If this is a Tower moment for you, explore that. Okay? 2 of Coins. However, you need to maintain balance in your own life. You need to keep security in your own life. You giving up any of the daily activities that create security for you is not going to help anybody. It's not going to help them over there. So it's okay to focus. Many of you, and that's also recognizing, many of you are extremely busy just juggling to keep your own boat afloat here. So I feel like Source is saying, don't feel guilty. Don't be guilty. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel, this is what I was getting in that other reading too. It's sort of like you can't feel bad enough to make them feel better. You can't worry enough to ease some of the fear for them. You can't deny yourself enjoyment of your days enough to bring enjoyment into their days. So really, and I get this with these tragedies all the time. I get my guides saying, okay, I know you care, but you don't need to prove you care by sacrificing your own joy, your own time and energy. You do not need to do that. Like I said, do what you're led to do and leave it at that. And sometimes what we're led to do, frankly, a lot of times I do spend a little time in meditation, sending love, protection, well-being, and asking the angels to help. I do that. And I do think that does help, actually. And there are other things I do. I mean, I use my voice as well. And, there's a charity I do like. But what I keep getting from Source is, even as I'm saying this, my guides are saying, maybe you shouldn't say that, because they're saying we don't want anyone out there to feel bad. You feeling guilty, like I should be doing more. That's not going to help. That's not going to help them. Please understand that taking care of your own life is important. Enhancing your joy enhances the joy of the world. Enhancing your own peace enhances the peace of the world. I hear this again and again and again. Ace of Cups. Also, there is soothing and love. Oh, remember that our Source soothes us, loves us. Even if the upset we have is many times removed, the same Source that is soothing, trying to soothe and love those in the Middle East, those in Israel, those in the Gaza Strip, trying to soothe and love us also. So it's okay to receive that. It's okay to acknowledge that even though there are greater needs elsewhere, your needs are important too. And your needs for love and comfort and soothing are important too, because Source has so much love for you. The guides always tell me, you're all connected. You do not have the power a lot of times to change things happening there. You can do the things you do, but really where you have the most power is today in your life, right now. That's where you have the most power. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Love your life. Yes, it is okay to put it in a God box, to say the prayer, maybe write it out, maybe put it in the box, and then not think about it. It really is all right. And in fact, what my guides keep telling me is we'd rather you do that. We'd rather you give yourself permission to have joy today, because that lifts the whole. Give yourself permission to take care of yourself, because that increases that energy of taking care of ourselves across the earth. So it makes no sense to sacrifice those things in your daily life that just actually spreads the energy of suffering. Like, okay, I'm going to suffer too. That increases suffering, the suffering energy across the earth. Don't do that. A lot of times people do that because they are so conscientious and loving. They just feel like they need to do that for them. You don't do that. Okay, that's what I get. Queen of Cups. Yes, you have compassion. Yes, many of you are very intuitive. And you may, I've had this before. If an image of someone there in the Gaza Strip or in Israel comes to your mind, and you are to pray for that person or be with that person or wish safety, love, and protection for that person, do that as part of your prayer. Because many of you, if you close your eyes, you would see him. You would see that person you're supposed to pray for. Also, Seven of Cups. There's a lot of illusion here. It is indeed horrific, This is a big news story. I guess I'm hearing is stick with the facts. Stick with the facts. Otherwise, we won't know when things are getting better. Okay. And the Emperor. Take charge. Justice. Okay, some of you will feel the need to use your voice. Stand up. Saying the innocents must be protected, must be much better protected here. Many of you will feel the need to do that and go right ahead. Divine strength and protection. The Strength card. So I'm kind of hearing be one with the currents. I often feel energies move through us all on the earth in currents, streams. Which stream are you going to jump into? Which river are you going to add to? How about not adding to the river of, oh, this is awful, it's terrible, and it's just so much pain and suffering, and I suffer thinking of them suffering. How about not adding to that river, but how about jumping in the streams of justice and truth coming out, of love and pacifism growing, and compassion? How about jumping in the streams? Think about which stream you're in. Think about that right now. And the stream you're in should be, think about how does it feel in your heart? Does it feel good? Does it feel strong? Does it feel caring? How does it feel? If it doesn't feel good, I get that Source wants us to jump right out of that stream and right out of that river and go into a different one. In what we're thinking about, in what we're feeling. So, and we make no apologies for that. That is what we want to strengthen. All right, I hope that's helpful to you. It certainly was to me as I'm hearing the guides tell me this. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.